When it comes to weaning a fuel-hungry nation off foreign oil, the recent buzz has centered on ethanol. Much has been said about the pros and cons of the predominantly corn-based fuel, with any number of experts casting doubts on its performance. However, one proving ground where these fears are being laid to rest is the Speedway. High-performance engines are put to the test every weekend somewhere across the U.S., many relying on tricky mixtures of this or that petroleum distillate. But one sector of auto racing has committed to homegrown fuels in its dash for cash. John Nichols explains how an aggressive marketing campaign is helping ethanol race into the fast lane.
Last Sunday, a capacity crowd of 35,000 people witnessed the inaugural Iowa Corn 250 IndyCar race. And thanks to a live broadcast on ABC television, the eyes of the racing world focused on Newton, Iowa.
And the inaugural running here at Iowa Speedway is green. Green, green, green.
The Iowa Speedway's progressive banking system allowed drivers to run their machines wide open the entire race. And top drivers like Elio Castroneves, Tony Kanaan, and 2007 Indy 500 winner and current points leader Dario Franchitti roared around the track at speeds in excess of 180 miles per hour. While IndyCar racing is new to Iowa, the fuel powering the 650 horsepower cars has grown here for centuries. That's because the 2007 IndyCar Series is the first in auto racing to power its vehicles with 100% ethanol.
In Brazil, we've been running, the ethanol for years, for 25 years. So I would say this is a better concept. It's cheaper, doesn't harm your engine, it is better for the environment. I mean, it's a win-win situation.
Despite ethanol's ability to make cars go fast, the industry's evolution from value-added commodity to preeminent alternative fuel has taken some time. U.S. ethanol production grew slowly in the 1980s and 90s. But at the dawn of the new millennium, America entered the age of renewable fuels. Corn is the predominant feedstock of U.S. ethanol, and the Agriculture Department estimates nearly 3.5 billion bushels of this year's crop will be used to produce the high-octane fuel.
Let us build on the work we've done and reduce gasoline usage in the United States by 20% in the next 10 years.
Much of ethanol's success can be traced to policy changes in Washington, like the 2005 Energy Bill, which created a Renewable Fuel Standard, or RFS. The RFS established a national minimum usage requirement of 4 billion gallons in 2006 and increases the mandate to 7.5 billion gallons in 2012. Now, just 2 years after the original RFS became law, proponents believe it wasn't ambitious enough. And the Senate recently passed a measure increasing the production mandate to 36 billion gallons by 2022. Demand for ethanol also has grown thanks to aggressive marketing.
If ethanol gives top drivers all the power and performance they expect, it'll work for you too.
The Ethanol Promotion and Information Council, or EPIC, is a nonprofit alliance of industry leaders who work on increasing demand for ethanol through targeted marketing. According to EPIC, ethanol currently is blended into almost 50% of America's fuel supply, replacing 600,000 barrels of oil every day. In 2006, America's 110 biorefineries produced nearly 5 billion gallons of ethanol. 75 more facilities are either under construction or expanding to bring annual production to nearly 11 billion gallons. With talk of renewable fuel standards exceeding 30 billion gallons over the next 15 years, the industry likely will continue its expansion at breakneck pace. And while ethanol is growing fast, it's also going fast. And there's no better example of that than the 17 car, sponsored by ethanol and driven by Jeff Simmons.
We've seen a lot of great things in the car this year with our switch to 100% fuel-grade ethanol and more torque and broader power band, and we're getting better mileage than we were last year as well. So all those things are great, and the crews and the fans are breathing easier too because it's cleaner burning.
While the 17 car is probably the most eye-catching form of ethanol marketing, promotion of the homegrown fuel isn't limited to four wheels. So the Iowa Farm Bureau commissioned Orange County choppers to build America's first custom bike capable of running on 85% ethanol. And the stars of American Chopper unveiled their flex fuel creation at the Iowa Corn 250.
There she is. Green, huh? You know, this is a cool project, and the best part is it's the first bike that we've ever built that runs on E85 ethanol.
The one-of-a-kind machine will be raffled this summer, with gross proceeds supporting alternative energy initiatives. And the rapid growth of ethanol is fueling optimism in farm country.
The ethanol boom in the state has been good for a couple of reasons. I think it's been a good opportunity for young people to come get started in farming because there's an opportunity for profit. If there's profit in farming, young people will come back.
That sentiment is echoed by Larry's son Aaron, who has his own 30-head cow-calf operation.
I think it's a good time to get into farming if you're gonna. I know I have a pretty good road ahead of me, and it's been paid pretty well for me to good spot to start out in.
By selling their corn to the local ethanol plant and feeding dried distillers grains to their livestock, the Alligers capitalize on the entire production cycle. And officials claim livestock plays a pivotal role in the future of ethanol.
The livestock industry is very important for the growth and the overall health of the renewable fuels industry because they use the co-product that is created out of the energy production.
Despite yielding a byproduct containing 80% of its original nutritional value for livestock, ethanol is the highest performance fuel on the market, with an octane rating of 113 in its pure form. And that was enough to power Dario Franchitti to victory lane at this year's Indianapolis 500 and the Iowa Corn 250.
I've got nothing but positive things to say about ethanol. In fact, I think we've gained a little bit of horsepower with it, so I think it's great, and you've got to applaud the IndyCar series for taking the lead on that, and the guys from Ethanol for supporting the series. So positive all the way around.
For Market to Market, I'm John Nichols.